Hello, it's me. It's been a long time, but I figured I'd ask another 20 questions just to keep things interesting. Um, it's like I said, it's been a while, but I've been busy. Been doing that whole thing where life gets involved and such. Um, the first question of the 20 questions was, what is your best relationship and why? Um, I'd have to say that would be my current relationship, which is my marriage. And it would have to be because we both respect each other and we love each other, and it's not that sort of, oh, I think he loves me and we're going to be together forever. It's that actual, I love him and he loves me, and we love each other because of who we are and what we want out of life, not because I think he wants what I want, but gee, I don't really know. Number two, would you ever take someone back that cheated on you? I guess it would depend on the situation. Um, if the situation was such that it allowed itself, I suppose so. It would depend on the situation. Three, how many children do you want? 2 to 4, something like that. Or 0 to 4, I don't know. Things change every day when you work near a retail store. 4, would you ever consider adoption? Of course I would, because there are a lot of children out there who do not have loving parents, who definitely need them. And I feel like all of us have a place in our heart for children, even if they're not our own biologically, they deserve a home. And I believe that all of us have the capacity to love, even if we are not biologically connected to them. I think they potentially could be our own. How many people have I said I love you to? Um, Not counting family and friends, as in girlfriends, probably 15, 10 to 15. We can love a lot of people in our lives, and we can love boyfriends and girlfriends alike. Um, just because we love somebody at the moment doesn't mean we don't ever stop loving them. Or if we do stop loving them, it doesn't mean that we never loved them in the first place. So that love that we originally had does not mean that it never existed. It just means that perhaps that we've moved on from that type of love. Have you ever talked seriously about marriage with anyone? Yes, my husband. I'm married now, so yeah. Favorite color? Still bright red. Fire truck red, bright crayon red. Always love red. Red and black. Or any contrasting colors. Orange and blue, purple and yellow, red and green, beyond the Christmas thing. Anything like that. If you could be one animal for a week, which animal would you be? A cat, because they're furry and fluffy and they just look comfortable. Whatever they're doing, they look comfortable. So a cat. If you could be invisible for one day, where would you go? I'm going to stay out of that one for legal reasons. If you could have plastic surgery to look like anyone in the world, who would you look like? Me? Because I'm awesome. And I don't need looks to know that I'm awesome. Thanks. What are your thoughts on abortion? Wow, that's deep. We went from plastic surgery to abortion. Wow. I believe that we all have the choice to decide for our own, and that politics need to stay out of it. But other than that, hey, do what you like. What are your thoughts on drugs? Um, if they're illegal, don't do them. If they're legal, do them only if they're prescribed by your doctor, and be honest with your doctor. How many people have you slept with? Oh my gosh, wow, this is getting personal. Um, no one to my husband. That's all you need to know. Thanks. I'm married. Otherwise, nothing else that you need to know. Describe me in a single word. Me or you or us. Me, loopy. No, that's a bad word. Creative. I think creative is a good word. How old were you when you first had sex? Oh my gosh, where did I get this list? This is why we should not find lists of 20 questions on YouTube or on Google, because you never know quite what you're going to get. That's none of your business. If you could only watch one movie for the rest of your life, which movie would it be? Probably Amadeus. Amadeus is a generally well-rounded movie. Music, drama, comedy, attractive people. How could you go wrong? If you won $1 million, how would you spend it? Paying back my parents' debt, paying back my debt, and then perhaps investing in my retirement. What makes your heart pound? My husband's smile, the Navy, and drains. I'm dreadfully afeard of drains. I don't like drains, plumbing, nothing. Nothing. What is one thing that makes your skin crawl? Same thing, drain. I think it's the same question. What is the most romantic thing you have ever done for a boy? Well, it says girl, but I'm going to say boy. For my husband last year on Valentine's Day, I took a bunch of sticky notes and I wrote down like 150 reasons that I love him. And I wrote down a reason on each sticky note, which sounds like, oh, it's super romantic. But when you really break it down to 150 things, it's more like, I like the way you mix granola and yogurt together. It's really not that romantic. I like the way you put the dishes together in the drawer and all the knives go in the same. No, it's just really not that romantic. But it's a sweet thought. And our house was covered with sticky notes for a long time. I'm not really sure what he did with all of them, but I'm pretty sure he kept them. Let's see. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay, so this 20 questions is like 45 questions, so I apologize, because I'm like, this is really long. Anyway, if talent, ability, and money were no issue, what job would you choose? Retired. Hello. But I'm joining the Navy, so that's a very reasonable substitute. If you had to eat the same food for 1 week straight, what would you choose? If calories were of no consequence, I would choose Blue Moon ice cream because it is awesome. But I cannot. What song would make you think of me? Well, if this were my husband, it would be At Last by Etta James, because that's our song. Not really our song, but it's our dancing at the wedding song. Our song is Blue Oyster Cult's, that song about the Juliet and such. I should know, but I don't. Anyway. Okay. If you noticed a guy obviously flirting with me right in front of you, how would you react? Obviously it would be, if you noticed a girl obviously flirting with me right in front of you, how would you react? I would be jealous. I'd probably come over and grab your butt and say, hey, what's up? How's my husband doing? Good? Alright. If a girl were obviously flirting with you in front of me, how would you react? And you'd probably be like, oh, hey, what's up? It's my wife. That's what we do. If I were going to get a tattoo and you could pick what it would be, what would you put? Would you pick? You'd probably pick whatever I want because you don't really care. You would have to spend the night in a cold forest and can only have one of these things with you. Which do you pick? A gun, a blanket, meat, or supplies for s'mores? It would be a tie between me or s'mores. I know that. If you were, number 31, if you were writing a novel about us, what would be a comedy, a romance, or a drama, or a horror novel? And how would it end? It would obviously be a horror novel, and it would end by you sacrificing me to the zombies so you could escape, and them eating my brains, and Horace escaping with you. Number 32. If you were to bail me out tomorrow, what would be the most likely reason based on what you know now? Because you love me, you would bail me out. If the reason that I needed bailing out was, well, you know. 33. What is your worst habit? Bite my nails. 34. Who do you consider your role model? Probably my teachers. Most of my teachers were my role models. If you could change one thing about your past, what would it be? I would have joined the Air Force when I was 17, instead of waiting until I was 27 to join the Navy. Would I have had sex on my first date? 36. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you have sex on the first date? That's none of your business. Thanks. 37. If you found another girl you like better, would you cheat on me or would you just break up with me for her? I would hope you wouldn't break up with me because I'm married. I really don't think that's of any question of consequence. That is a question for people who are insecure with themselves, and who cares if they find somebody who's better than you, in their opinion, then you don't really want them in your life anyway, because you don't want somebody who thinks that there's somebody better out there, because you should be their one and only. Anyway, that's my little tidbit. Number 38. How did your parents meet? My parents met at a Taekwondo studio, and they were studying Taekwondo together, and they started dating, and then things occurred, and I was born. Do you believe in certain roles are gender specific? For example, cooking, cleaning, and child rearing. I think anybody can do them. I think that women tend to be the one who bear children in terms of that whole pregnancy thing. But I think that anybody can perform those roles, as proved by multiple cultures in our lives. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf? Vampire, because werewolves have no control over their transition. However, vampires can learn to live with their disease. 41. What is the one thing about me that makes you nervous? I don't feel like sharing that with all of you. Thank you. 42. If you had to dress up as an apple or an orange, which would you choose and why? I know apple, because apples are awesome, and they're crunchy and chewy and delicious. And oranges are awesome, but they have a peel, and they're sour sometimes. They have many parts, and apples are simple, like me, and delicious, like me. 43. If you had to fight a bear or a lion, which would you choose and why? A bear or a lion? Probably choose a bear, because a bear you can just play dead, and generally they just kind of leave you alone. Lions, vicious kitties. 44. Do you believe in love at first sight? No, I don't really believe in love at first sight. I believe that sometimes when people fall in love, the first sight that they see of somebody is when they fall in love. But I think, for the most part, when people fall in love, they see somebody and they fall in love. And that it happens to be that they fall in love with them. And that it happens to be sometimes when people fall in love that they fall in love for good. So I think by chance that sometimes people fall in love when they first see somebody. And by chance, when they first see somebody, out of those many, many times that they've first seen somebody and fell in love with them, that they happen to marry them and have children, or happen to live happily forever after, that it happens to be because they fall in love and live forever with them, not because they fell in love, because they first saw them. They see many people that they first fall in love with. Whatever, you get my point. Love at first sight does not exist. It is that many people fall in love at first sight, but true love is not because we see the first sight, it is because we fall in love with somebody at our first sight because of the visualities that we... Anyway, you get the point. Alright, well this video is way beyond the time, and I'm probably going to get kicked off for it. Alright, goodbye.